region. From gooseneck trailers to utility trailers and equipment trailers, Triple Crown builds them tough, right here at home. Need maintenance or new running gear? They specialize in installation and service to keep you rolling. And don't forget their retail store for all the parts and accessories you need. Triple Crown Trailers. Built here. Live here. Visit Triple Crown Trailers.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Light, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Weeby Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, B&D Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
It is time to eat some lunch and talk some sports. Welcome into a Thursday edition of Sports Scene as you listen on WRUF. Normally, I tell you who the producer is, but I'm going to let her tell you who's producing the show today. So,
hi, I'm Caroline, and I'll be producing the show today.
all right. Just want to give a little pub to Caroline. Okay. She's going, oh, my God. Hey, you guys do a great job, so why not? All right. Today, if all goes well, Craig Damon, Executive Director of the Florida High School Activities Association, is going to come on and explain the new playoff formats. And it's not just for football. There's a ton of other sports that will have the same opportunity if you are a 1A school and you're good enough to be in the playoff, then you'll be in the playoff. So he'll talk about that. Blake Alderman, on 3 Sports recruiting guru, will come on and talk about Florida and the great job they have done to this point in recruiting. And then Savanna Collins, one of our own, lead reporter for the AUSL. She'll talk that league, how some of the Gators are doing in the league. I was going to take off today to go to the Knicks parade, but darn it, I couldn't make it. So here I am. I'm there in spirit for the parade. I just hope that everything goes well. You know, nothing stupid happens, that, you know, fans are going to go out there and just enjoy it. And don't forget, today, tune into the Sports Lab at 3 after we are done here for a special announcement regarding the upcoming football season. Okay? That's going to be today, Sports Lab, 3 o'clock. We come to you, as we always do, live from the Gator Trim Light studio. GatorTrimLight.com, place you got to go to find out what they can do for you. They're really good at what they do. If you want your home lit up, your yard, whatever it is, they can do it. And it's all programmable from your phone. We are fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. The best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Go see them in person. Make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you. All of our calls come to you on the Titan MRI and Imaging phone line. Call them for the best MRI and affordable prices. Find out more online, titanmri.com. The email for the show, srussell@wruf.com. Presented by International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators. Simply put, you want good stuff, you want fine jewelry, this is the place to go. Our first hour sponsor, Quality Plumbing. Same company you've relied on since 1984. Think about that. And they still do great work today. Their name indeed says it all. And all of our guests come to you courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Meldon Law won't back down. We had some emails left over from yesterday, and I will also throw this out for discussion today. With the swamp, would anybody have wanted it placed in a different, would you have wanted a new place? Greg said he read where $500 million of the $1.45 billion would be for the ADA. Some said it'd be cheaper to build a newer stadium somewhere else. Do you think the Gator fan base would have thought about a new stadium instead of renovating Ben Hill Griffin Stadium? I don't know. I'm gonna ask that today as you call in. Okay. Would you have preferred a new stadium, a new location, or are you happy that the swamp is being renovated? My guess would be that people would be happy the swamp is renovated. William says that you could definitely build a brand new stadium for $1.5 billion, however, likely in a different spot. I believe most Gator fans want to keep the swamp. As a Yankee fan growing up, I think even the most adamant Yankee hater would tell you seeing a game at the old Yankee Stadium had a certain feel to it, especially in the playoffs. The same can be said about Fenway. Those were our special venues. The new Yankee Stadium is awful. Something about it that seems unauthentic, and the environment just isn't the same. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Gatorman is there. Gatorman, hello.
What's going on, Steve? I say you renovate your swamp. You can't move the swamp. That's legendary. I mean, that's the bottom line. I mean, the bite gonna come back to the swamp. And like I said, you just can't move the swamp.
Well, it ain't going to be moved, so that's good.
Yeah, as far as baseball, I can tell you what, Oklahoma, I don't know where they come from, but I tell you what, they're looking pretty doggone good.
I was going to mention that a little later, but since you brought it up, I have mentioned this a couple of times. Florida played Oklahoma during the year and played them in Norman late in the year. Florida took 2 out of 3, and they were probably at their worst at that time. I mean, they almost didn't make the SEC tournament. And, here they not making it. They weren't going to do well in it. And they just turned things around, and wow. I mean, you got to give them a lot of credit.
Oh, no doubt. But, like I said, basketball and baseball, it's a long season. So, you can't get up too uptight when you're struggling, because eventually you'll come around. Like the Gators struggled at the beginning of the season, but they came around until the end. But like I said, Oklahoma, I hope they go and get it done. But I see the magazine will start coming out, and I give you the top 10 reasons some Gator fans and Gator haters are not buying the Summerall hype. Number 10, the Tulane and Ole Miss game. Some people still think, hey, they get beat bad in that game. Shouldn't be Florida coach. Number 9, they're counting losses before they even happen. Number 8, it says Summerall and Napier had a similar record at these small schools. Number 7, this Kiffin a bust. Number 6, they said got burned by Mullins. Number 5, they got burned by Muschamp. Number 4, we got too many coaches that are better than him in the SEC. Number 3, got a big boy schedule. Number 2, no quarterback. And number 1 reason they say we got to believe it to see it. And Steve, you have a good day.
Gatorman, thank you. Let's get to Daryl. Daryl, hi.
Hey, good afternoon, Steve. Hey, as far as the swamp, Steve, I say renovate it instead of building a new stadium, because the question is, it's so landlocked in that area, where would you build another stadium? Would it be outside of Gainesville?
Well, there's been recommendation of that you find something off campus, where you could put other things around it. In other words, if you were going to start from scratch, I think that would at least deserve a look where what Jacksonville's doing now, where the Jags are. If you've ever been driven by there lately, they're building all kinds of different things, restaurants, places to live, all that around the stadium. So you would have a chance if you could find, the amount of land, and it wasn't, terribly far, where you could do that and really generate income from something like that. But, again, I'm just talking because it ain't going to happen.
Yeah. Steve, speaking of that, I've made numerous trips to Waynesboro, up to Columbia, and to me, it's not really near the campus. It's out by the fairgrounds. Do you think back in the day they were thinking that they really didn't have no land to build a stadium right at campus? That's why they went out to the fairgrounds area?
What school, I'm sorry?
South Carolina.
I don't know the ins and outs of that. I would be guessing. I mean, I don't know if they had land on campus or not. I don't know if that's the reason why they went away. That would make some sense to me, but I don't know the real reason.
Yep. And Steve, as far as the baseball tournament, as we've repeated, wow, Oklahoma back when Florida played them, like you said, they didn't really have a shot to make the SEC tournaments, and they have got hot right now, man. You can't take nothing away from them. No,
and that's the beauty of sport, that they have gotten it together. When they played Florida, their pitching wasn't particularly good. They played Texas earlier in the year, and Texas swept them. Now, they lost 2 one-run games, but Texas swept them. They played Alabama, lost 2 out of 3. They played Florida, lost 2 out of 3. So, I'm telling you, when they played Florida, and I'm going to go back and look at when it was beginning of May. And they lost 13-2. They got run ruled. I remember that, the last day. And then went to Arkansas and lost 2 out of 3. So they just were not, and then they lost 2 out of 3 to Tennessee. So they were limping into the SEC baseball tournament, lost there to LSU, if people remember. And yet, they made a regional, and here we are. Yep. Okay, Steve, have a great day. Yep. Thank you, Daryl. Get to Byron quickly. Byron, hi.
Hey, Steve, I was kind of going that way too, but Steve, I was wondering last night watching that pitching because what I was kind of hinting to yesterday, the way Georgia's been beating up us and everybody, I just been admiring their bats, man, and they had pretty good pitching. And yeah, Oklahoma, boy, I'm glad I'm not a betting man. And Steve, I've been missing a few shows, but I don't know. I think it started with an S, but the quarterback for Texas Tech, I'm very happy that the NCAA is doing what they're doing. I think that would have messed up the integrity of the game, especially for me. Steve, I think us as fans, even in games that are hypocritical, because we said when the college turned to the NFL, we wasn't watching it. And I know I'm still really intrigued with it. And the ticket sales in NFL and college is outstanding. But I think if they ever let that gambling get out of hand, and the one thing I don't like about NIL, I hope they fix, I didn't never like all of when people leave NFL teams, the Zonkers, the Kicks, even way back then with all this money, and when people just transfer and no lawyers to the teams. So I hope they fix that too, because fans like people to stay to teams longer than 1 year, and I hope no gambling. And if you do that, let Pete Rose and Barry Bonds back in, whatever, because there's no integrity in sports no more. Steve, I'm ranting on and all. I'm dizzy. Go Gators.
All right, Byron, thank you. We'll take a break. Come back. More sports scene coming up. Live from the Gator Trimlight Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Florida football is back to maintaining discipline with players on and off the field. Director of Football Performance Rusty Witt, who oversees the Gators' strength and conditioning, joined Sports Scene with Steve Russell yesterday.
Our discipline is very strong here. I'm kind of the discipline manager of the program. Guys being late, missing breakfast, missing their desired weight goal. There's a myriad of things these guys can do to violate team policies. So we try to tie that into a football game.
The Gators are nearing Game 1 on September 5th, continuing to improve in the weight room under Witt. For more Gator football news, read on WRUF.com. The Rays defend Tropicana Field against the Washington Nationals tomorrow. Tampa Bay is seeking to find their footing after being swept by the Dodgers. WRUF will be hosting full coverage of tomorrow's game at 6:30.
Friends, if somebody's been in business for 45 plus years, doesn't that tell you something? Trust, longevity. Well, that is the case with my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville. The Cousins family has operated that business for the past 45 plus years, and they specialize in just one thing. They give you the best alternative you have to purchasing a new vehicle, the best in late model, low mileage vehicles. Great variety, great selection. I'm driving one now, have been for years. Go see them today, Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trimlight is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimlight.com. That's GatorTrimlight.com. GatorTrimlight.com.
Nobody does catering like P.F. Chang's. Elevate your gathering with our buffet-style catering pans. Packed with bold flavors and generous portions of your favorite dishes, we make it easy to serve and even easier to enjoy. From chopsticks to dessert, everything's ready for pickup or delivered right to your door. Choose individual meals, customizable catering packages, or build your own perfect feast. P.F. Chang's Catering. Your feast perfected. Order now at pfchangs.com/catering.
It's lunchtime and nobody does lunch like Pomodoro Cafe. From Italian dishes to subs and salads, and favorites like their gamberi salento, shrimp, fresh tomatoes, and zucchini sauteed in garlic and oil with penne pasta and Romano cheese.
This is Steve Russell sharing with you one of my favorite lunch spots, Pomodoro Cafe, located in the Spring Hill Publix complex on 39th Avenue near I-75. Enjoy Pomodoro Cafe today.
And don't forget, they cater online at pomodorocafe.com.
Soccer Sticker Fever is here at Miapa. Every Wednesday from 4 to 9 p.m., bring the family for Soccer Sticker Trading Night. Trade the stickers you're missing, pick up albums and sticker packs, and connect with fellow collectors. And kids ages 3 to 10 eat free with a paid adult entree. While the kids enjoy dinner, treat yourself to the best Cuban food north of Miami and delicious Cuban coffee at any of our 6 convenient locations. Miapa Soccer Sticker Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, 4 to 9 p.m.
Hey Gainesville, tired of big banks that don't know your name? Meet Galabank. Locally owned, locally operated. With over 350 years of combined experience, we're here to help our neighbors, not just customers. No call centers, no appointments necessary, no sign-in sheets, and anyone can cash a check on us. No extra charge. Local bank, local people. Galabank. Find us at 7515 West University Avenue off Tower Road. Galabank. Member FDIC.
You're listening to Sports Scene with Steve Russell, right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. Going to give you some details on that new bill, the Protect College Sports Act. It has moved forward. It's one step closer to a possible vote. I will give you the details here in just a minute, but basically it has moved on to the Senate floor. And again, it's a bipartisan bill, but it has a long way to go before it is going to be voted upon, but it has taken the next step. The Senate Commerce Committee voting 19-9 today to move the bill forward to a full Senate vote. So we will see. Sam, International Diamond Center email, regards to the stadium topic. In a perfect world, I would love to see the stadium demolished and built in the same place to keep it on campus. But of course, with logistics and where the Gators we play the next few years, where would the Gators play the next few years while the stadium is being built would be another issue altogether. Yeah, I agree. And again, this is just conversation, June conversation time, because nothing else is going on. If you would have preferred, somewhere off campus, you can certainly let me know. Let's go to our Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Bernard, hello.
Hey, Steve, talk a little baseball today. Okay. College, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Georgia got beat. Thank Oklahoma. going for Troy. Now I'm for Oklahoma. Steve, I think Oklahoma kind of epitomizes to me. I'm not big on college baseball when I tune in what it is, because to me there's so much parity. Anybody could win in college baseball. I don't see a dominant baseball team. If a team get hot, that they could be the flavor of the month. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's that way in most sports, right? I mean, once you get there, I mean, Oklahoma's a little different in that, again, what I just read you about where Oklahoma was going to the SEC tournament, I don't think anybody, maybe outside of Norman, would have thought they'd be, playing for a championship in the College World Series. So, I don't think many people expected that. But yeah, I mean, if you get hot and you get hot at the right time, and for how long you get hot, you can go a long way. Oklahoma's proven that.
Because you had a caller yesterday, Steve, the Rays baseball. I admire what they do based on the budget. I think they're one of the best kept secrets in professional sports. But I agree with what you told the guy. I don't know if they were going to keep playing at that pace. I think at some point you play 162 games, and at the end of the season you are what you are. I don't think they're going to play high 600 or 700 baseball, but I think they still have a good team, and they will be in the run, and if not for a top position, definitely a wild card. And I think that's great with what the budget is. And we talking about with parity in college baseball. The Dodgers, I think, if I'm not mistaken, have won back-to-back World Series, and they're a favorite to win again. To me, they are unlike college baseball. I think the Dodgers considered the clear-cut best team in baseball, and I think most people would be surprised if they don't repeat as World Series champion. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a 162-game regular season, and you can be the best team over 162 games, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be that in the playoffs. And I think we've seen that, happen where the best team going into a playoff doesn't always win. But right now, it's a long way away from the playoffs, but I would say the Dodgers at this point would be favored. But again, injuries play into that too, Bernard. So, and they've got some pitchers hurt, so we'll see.
Oh, Steve, lastly, I think I'm really a big fan of Kevin O'Sullivan. I think he's done a great job at Florida, but I think that this coming year, next year, is going to be a big year for him, not because of what he's done, but the game has changed with the NIL. I don't know whether that NIL that he's getting at Florida allows him to compete at the top level and bring in some of the top players that will get Florida beyond a regional, super regional, and possibly win a World Series in college baseball. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, money is great, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win. And I don't know. I think Florida is competitive when it comes to NIL in baseball. I don't know that they're at the top of the heap, that they Texas or somebody like that, but they're not sisters of the poor either. So, just went out and got a new pitching coach. I'm sure, I would imagine making more money than David Kopp made. So, we'll see what happens now.
Hey, take care and have a great day, okay?
Bernard, thank you. All right, we're going to talk to the executive director of the Florida High School Activities Association, Craig Damon, about the new playoff format and some other things. Craig, welcome. Thanks for doing this. In case somebody has not heard about this, please explain the change. And, it's not just football. Explain the change in how the playoffs will be conducted.
Well, thanks, Steve, for having me on.
Sure.
Our board, back in 2024, we sort of actually going out to national conventions and talking with other states in Arizona, had implemented a program in football where they were taking their top 4 to 8 teams and pulling them out of their brackets and their classifications and putting them into an open division. So the idea sort of came from Arizona, but what we're doing now starting this year is the top 8 teams based on rankings for football, girls volleyball, boys and girls soccer, boys and girls basketball, baseball, softball, flag football, and boys and girls lacrosse. Top 8 teams at the end of the season after the district tournament for all sports besides football. We pulled out of their classifications regardless of their size and put into our open division basic classification. And with that, those 8 teams will be seeded 1 through 8, and they'll be split up into 2 pools of 4. Pool A will have the number 1, the number 4, 5, and 8 seed. Pool B will have 2, 3, 6, and 7. And each team is guaranteed, they'll play a round robin basically within their pool. So each team will be guaranteed 3 contests, 3 games. At the conclusion of the 3 games, the top 2 teams from each pool will be placed on a bracket and seeded in a semifinal matchup with the 2 winners of the semifinal contest playing in the championship game.
Craig, I had an email from Dean. Dean says, can you ask Mr. Damon how the rankings will be determined?
For football, right now they're using straight max preps. Some of our other sports have asked for max preps. We just got off a call with max preps. So for football, for sure, definitely straight max preps. The other sports, I think basketball has asked for max preps, so we had to get on the call with them just trying to figure out exactly what the rankings would look like and when they post them and so forth. So the thought is right now for the other sports to either use the FHSAA rankings, which the difference between the 2 is the FHSAA rankings counts forfeits as either win or loss, and max preps tend to basically go by the score of the game and does not count wins or doesn't count forfeits as a win or loss. So we're going to reach back out to our advisory committees in the other sports just to confirm whether they want straight max preps after we've had the conversation with max preps or the adjusted max preps rankings, which also takes into consideration forfeits and make that determination for selecting the 8.
Craig, I mentioned you were going to be on today, and I've got 3 emails here for questions for you. How about that? Robert says, can you ask what happens to the other teams? In other words, if a team, there's still going to be, I guess what he's asking is, if a team was pulled out of 3A to play in, say, a football playoff, will there still be a 3A championship?
Yes, there'll still be championships in all of our classes, 1A through 6A, and also the rural classification. So they will also have still be a state champion in those various classifications. So with the 8 teams being removed from their classification playoff structure and put in the open division, it will allow 8 teams that may not have made the playoffs to now bump in those spots in the playoffs. So, for example, let's say the sport of soccer, the number 1 team in the state on max preps rankings and our rankings is a district champion. So what we'll do is if that team is a district champion that would have had a spot in the 3A classification playoff bracket, we will now take an at-large team based on rankings and plug them into that spot to complete the 32 teams in that classification playoff.
And I think it's funny, Bill says, will there still be districts?
Yes, there'll still be districts, still be regional play. None of that. The only thing that's changing now is the top 8 teams will be removed from their class and it's almost like adding an additional class for them to play in, and everybody else will continue doing what we've always done.
I'm going to end with this, Craig, and I'm just saying this as a former coach. Sometimes if you are trying to win a state title and you run into a buzzsaw, you run into a school that just does it a little bit differently and you can't get over that hump, well, now they'll be in the new classification, and doesn't that open up opportunities for other schools who would be in that classification to win themselves a state championship?
And it does, and that's part of the thought process behind this concept was we heard from our membership for years that, there's on a level playing field that the teams the richer teams got richer, and the teams sort of at the bottom, that gap just kept getting wider and wider, from the have and the have-nots. And they were trying to come up with a way that we could get those teams to play against each other and have, allow the teams that are more like-minded or on the same level to compete for a state championship. So it's definitely going to provide, more opportunities for schools that may not have made the playoffs, or for that team that keeps running into that juggernaut every year and getting eliminated. Now there may be an opportunity for that team to win a championship this year. But for the teams in the elite in this open division, we're considering, and what we've heard from folks across the nation, is that now it sets those teams up to be possibly the number one team in the nation at the end of the year.
Wow.
Just because of the caliber teams that they're playing throughout the playoffs and the win, and that with that pool of talent, some of those national ranking media sources and so forth definitely have to look at the teams from Florida when they're trying to determine who the mythical national champion team is in that sport.
That's great. Did I miss anything? Anything you want to add?
Just we're super excited about it, and the big thing is now 8 more schools, and those kids on those teams at those 8 schools now will have opportunity for postseason that would not have had an opportunity if we had not decided to move forward with the open division.
Okay. Craig, I appreciate you taking the time, because it can be confusing, but I think you laid it out pretty well. And if I can understand it, I think most people can understand it. So appreciate your time, man. Thanks for doing it.
All right, Steve, thank you for having me on.
You got it, Craig. Craig Damon, he is the executive director of the Florida High School Activities Association. Gator football recruiting, that's been going pretty good. Blake Alderman from On3 is going to tell you more about it next as you listen to Sports Scene on WRUF.
Gator football returns September 5th, right here on WRUF.
Summer is here. This summer, don't let pain or lingering injuries hold you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants. Our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
If you're looking for premium, high-quality food served in an unforgettable atmosphere, you're going to love brunch at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill.
This is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet.
Complete with build-your-own omelet station, served every Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Reservations are encouraged, and walk-ins are always welcome.
Plus, you can enjoy bottomless, mimosas, and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
There are plenty of realtors in town, but few work as hard, respond as quickly, or care as deeply as Doreen Wiebe of Caldwell Banker MM Parish. Community-driven and client-focused, Doreen will work with you to ensure your satisfaction. Whether you're buying or selling, she brings persistence, preparation, and heart to every deal. With Doreen, you're not just another transaction. You're a priority. Call 352-562-1411. That's 352-562-1411.
It's game day. Lights on, fans ready, everything running like it should. Now imagine your home performing at that same level. No flickering lights, no tripping breakers, no last-minute surprises. With B&D Electric, your home's electrical system is always game day ready. From repairs and lighting to panel upgrades and troubleshooting, they deliver reliable service you can count on every time. Don't sit on the sidelines. Schedule your service today at www.bdelectric.com. That's bdelectric.com.
Foodies, this is not a drill. Sensei Asian Bistro is now open in Celebration Point, right next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, and it's bringing bold Japanese French fusion flavors you won't find anywhere else. We're talking smoked New York strip, rich matcha curry, melt-in-your-mouth Chilean sea bass, and the fan-favorite Chunggang chili chicken. Feeling adventurous? Dive into fresh crudo oysters or treat yourself to A5 Wagyu tataki. Add in handcrafted cocktails, and you've got your next night out covered. Sensei Asian Bistro. Come hungry, leave impressed.
WRUF, where Gator Nation comes alive. 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. A little later on today, one of our grads, Savanna Collins, lead reporter for the AUSL. We'll talk about that league and the Gators in the league. In the meantime, if you have a question via text, that is our B&D Electric text line, 352-325-3777. Good people, you can schedule to work with them at bdelectric.com. Facebook Live questions come to you courtesy of Ruse Ogre State Farm, your go-to agent in Gainesville for car, home, casualty, and life insurance. And YouTube questions from Campus USA Credit Union, where Coach Spurrier does his banking, serving our community for 90 years. Another one of our Gator grads joins us next here on the Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Blake Alderman, recruiting analyst for On3, joins us here now. Blake, good to have you, man. How are you?
I'm always good. Good to be on the show. I appreciate you having me on.
Blake, it's been, I think when John Summerall was hired, there was hope that he would go out and do well in recruiting. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know of anybody who would think maybe the expectation level, hasn't he hit a home run to this point?
I'd say so. I mean, we're seeing a 5-star offensive lineman committed to Florida and Maxwell Hiller out of Pennsylvania. And I think the last 5-star that I saw Florida land, I think my first class, I started doing this in 2012. And I've seen DJ Humphrey sign with Florida, and I've seen Martez Ivey sign with Florida. Those are the only 2 5-star offensive linemen. So even that alone, it almost sort of breaks the curse and, all that. But we're seeing Florida recruit in-state very well. We're seeing them go out of state and recruit and win some of these battles. And, even, Steve, some of these recruitments maybe weren't trending Florida's way, but staff makes a heavy push. They build these relationships. They have this high energy, and they turn some in their favor. So it's been a pleasant surprise for sure.
As you look at the class, Blake, sometimes you look at things and it's what have they done positionally? Have they done to, take positions of need? How good of a job do you think they've done in that regard?
I think they've done a good job with it. And I think that when you look at the class, I think there's a good amount of balance right now. And sure, there's areas that need to be continue to be addressed, like defensive line is an area that they want to continue to add some guys. I think edge, as far as, the outside linebacker, jack, edge rusher type position, that's been a little bit of a tough sledding for Florida. We've seen some of these guys that they've targeted end up elsewhere. They want to add another safety to the class. They'd like to add a third cornerback, but if we're talking about third cornerbacks, kind of talking about a cherry on top in that sense. They'd like to add one nickel to the class. So there are some needs left out there still. But I think if you look at the offensive line, I mentioned Maxwell Hiller, the 5-star offensive lineman. They have 4-star offensive tackle Elijah Hutchinson out of Virginia, who's a top 100 player here at Rivals. And then they have 4-star interior offensive lineman Peyton Miller out of Texas, who's going to be a center. And I think 4-star offensive tackle Kennedy Jackson, who was committed to Florida but flipped to Georgia this past weekend. That was a tough blow, but sometimes that's just what happens. You go in recruiting out of state, and you recruit a guy like Kennedy Jackson, who is in Lithonia, Georgia, and you're going against Georgia, the in-state school there. Those things are going to happen. I mean, I don't think anyone in Florida's fan base wants to see those types of things, but it's just part of the game sometimes. But you look at wide receiver, they've got some really good players in there. You look at cornerback, I think 4-star cornerback Amari Fountain is a guy that they're really excited about. And then linebacker, they've got 2 in there. I think when you look at just what they've done positionally, offensive line, wide receiver, and I'd say cornerback right now, those are some of the areas that I think that are maybe more the more impressive type of hauls there. But even look at defensive line, maybe there's not this big flashy top 100 type of name, but they've got 4 guys committed on the defensive line. So we're seeing some depth being built there, and there's still some big fish out there on the defensive line that they're shooting for, and same could be said at wide receiver. But I think overall you see a nice amount of balance, and you're seeing those areas where they really wanted to hit, and they're not just getting 1 or 2 guys, they're getting 3, maybe 4 guys at those positions.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think 247 Sports has, and others have them, 22, 23, on 3, whoever has it. But when you look at this, how many more could they sign in the class?
I don't know an exact number, and I think that in the day and age we are now of high school recruiting and transfer portal recruiting, and you never know what your roster is going to look like this year from next year. I honestly think that a lot of those numbers are extremely fluid. Florida's got 22 commits right now. They have a chance to go to 23 with 3-star linebacker Trey Gaithers, who's set to commit between Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Tennessee in like the next 5 minutes or so. And wow. I like Florida for him. So they should be at around 23, considering if my prediction there is right on Gaithers. So, you're looking at that, and I think whenever you've seen sort of the traditional thinking of recruiting, you think, 25 guys in a class, that's a full class. And, that's obviously changed now. You can count back numbers. You never know who's on your roster now that may not be there. And there's some schools that want to save spots for the portal. I don't know that Florida has this boxed in limited type of number, but I think we're looking into where the class now, the majority of the hay's in the barn. I think you're going to see them start to put a little bit more effort, emphasis into that 2028 class, which is going to be the upcoming junior class, but there's still some targets out there. I just don't think that it's this long list of guys out there, and I think you'll see them try to shoot their shot on these uncommitted guys, maybe kick the tires on a couple of these flip guys, like a 5-star defensive lineman, Jalen Brewster, who's committed to Texas Tech, and 5-star wide receiver Easton Royal, who's currently committed to Texas. They'll continue to shoot for those elite types of guys, but I think, like I said, the majority of the hay is in the barn. Around the SEC,
Blake, any surprises? Georgia traditionally is very high, and, they're, I think, what are they, 15, 20, whatever they are. But, are there any surprises in a plus sense or a negative sense to you in the league at this point?
I was actually looking now, and I saw the graphic the other day. Alabama was lower than what we've traditionally seen them ranked. As far as just, you think of Alabama, you think of them like loading up with every 5-star and all these types of guys. And, when I'm sitting here scrolling the list now of the team rankings, I'm actually a little surprised that, you kind of have to hit the next button on there. Here, I can pull it up here. So let's see. They are currently 16th in the SEC. So lower than I thought. That's the 58th nationally ranked class in 2027 on 3 and Rivals recruiting. So I think that was one of the more shocking things. Like I said, I saw a graphic of SEC teams ranked in their recruiting rankings, and I knew that Alabama was lower, but seeing it now, I was like, oh, wow, 16th. And that's going from 2026 when their ranking was 2nd in the SEC. So that's a pretty big jump there. And I think it's a little surprising now because the way the recruiting calendar works, you sort of build your board in the early part of the year, you build it even more in the spring, and obviously guys are going to be committing in and out of there. But in recent years, we've seen, this big wave of commitments during official visit season and sometime after when things go to a dead period where there's no guys on campus. So we're kind of in that area now to where a lot of these guys are, getting these decisions figured out. They're committing on official visits, and I'm sure we'll still see some sort of wave of guys once the official visits are done. But this year was a little different, I think, for teams all around the country, but certainly for Florida, to where they were already on this momentum wave of commitments in the spring. So it was a little bit earlier than what we've seen in recent years. So maybe Alabama sort of capitalizes on that late summer, going into the fall dead period type of wave. But 16 for Alabama is not something that I've seen in quite some time, especially this time of the year.
I'm with you. Last thing, you mentioned this because of the portal. How much is the traditional high school recruiting affected, if at all? Because you mentioned it, saving spots for the portal. Is there a big difference now because of the portal?
I don't know that there's any major glaring differences, Steve, but I think that one that really kind of jumps out to me that we've seen over the years, and I think sometimes it depends on the position and it's a year-to-year thing, but, there's always going to be top targets, your guys that are at the top of your board, and then there's going to be guys that you really like. But we've seen that just before this wave of the portal being what it is now, that there are some guys and a handful of guys each year that maybe you see as like an underrated, diamond in the rough type of guy or something to that effect. I don't know that we're really seeing so many of those guys in a class year to year where it's, oh man, trust the coaches, their evaluation. I think that there's going to be some guys that you just love so much that you maybe you're just higher on than what they're ranked or what the world thinks or whatever. But I just don't know that we're seeing this huge wave of it. If you've got a guy that, Timmy Jones, who's this tight end that's sort of a sleeper, you really like him, but, you've got one tight end in the class, you don't want to add another. Maybe you say, we really like to add this guy if the numbers could work out, but we're just going to use that spot for the portal. Or if you are targeting a certain number of guys, let's say you're targeting, we'll use the tight end example again. If you want two guys, and you really only like about three of them, you land one, you miss out on the other two, you don't really feel the need to go look and try to find and expand the board. Screw it. We'll just use that spot for the portal or for another position or something. So I think we're not seeing so much of, I think the way coaches think it's like, we'll just use that spot for the portal instead of trying to expand your board. I think that's kind of really maybe the biggest glaring thing of what we've seen the portal kind of affecting the high school recruiting.
I got a quick email here, Blake. Do you think the Jackson kid flipped to Georgia because of more NIL money?
I think that that's probably something into the factor of it. But I also think that offensive tackles in general, they fetch a pretty penny. That's just one of those premier type of positions. And I don't think that Florida was over here, slotting him in the NIL sense of, they weren't really lowballing him either. So I don't know if it was maybe there was more money on the tables from NIL there, or if it was just the fact that this is a guy that's from Georgia. He grew up and has said in the past that Georgia was the dream school. Maybe does a guy like that want to just play for Georgia that bad? Dream school, in-state guy, maybe takes a little less just to play for them because they're finally pushing. But I do think in some ways what sort of opened the door for Florida and others in the spring with Kennedy Jackson as Florida started to trend up there, I do think that Georgia maybe was lacking a little bit in the NIL department, and I do think they stepped up that. Did that go more than what Florida or others had? I don't know that for sure, but I do know that NIL was picked up on Georgia's end once they started to miss on some guys, had a chance of losing one of their offensive linemen that's committed. It sort of made Kennedy Jackson more of a priority need as far as tackles for them. So I think that there was a step up there, but I don't know if it was one to where they just, backed up the Brinks truck, and then that's what put him over to Georgia.
All right, as always, good stuff. Where can people see your work, Blake?
Yeah, Gators Online. That's the On3 site for the Florida Gators on the network there, and a lot of my stuff's on Twitter. My handle is @Blake_Alderman.
Always appreciate you, Blake. Thanks for taking the time. Blake Alderman joining us here on Sports Scene. One of our grads does a great job for On3. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then we'll take more of your questions, calls, and comments on Sports Scene as you listen on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Florida women's basketball head coach Tammy Reese is seeking to build champions in Gainesville. Yesterday, she joined the Steve Russell Sports Scene discussing the chemistry she's building within her program.
It's every week you're building relationships, you're building chemistry. That's how teams become champions. And you got to trust each other, you got to know each other, and you got to play for each other. And so off the court, the summertime is the best time to build it, and we have to.
To follow the women's redemption season, look to WRUF.com. The Golf U.S. Open is fully underway with 3 Gators, Alejandro Tosti, Jackson Ormond, and Billy Horschel teeing off today. The Rays host the Nationals in a Tropicana Field triple-header tomorrow. Tampa Bay is coming off a series loss versus the Dodgers, capped by a 5-4 losing effort yesterday. To catch full coverage of tomorrow's game, look to WRUF.com.
At International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
It's the Battle of the Trucks at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. The Chevy Silverado 1500 strikes first with 0% financing for 60 months. The 26 GMC Sierra strikes back with 0% financing for 60 months plus no monthly payments for 130 days. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing, plus tax, tag, title, and dock. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable, and when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
For more than 50 years of quality service, Archer Electric Service Company has been Gainesville's choice for residential and commercial electrical work. Whether you need wiring, repairs, or backup generator installation, we treat every client like family with professional, clean, dependable service. Don't wait for the storm or the flicker to remind you. Visit ArcherElectricService.com today for a free consultation and see why we've been Gainesville and the surrounding area's most trusted electricians for decades.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
When you're ready to roll up your sleeves or open new doors for the next generation. When you're ready to give your time where it matters most and put your heart behind every handshake. Radiant Credit Union is ready too. With partnerships, programs, and people dedicated to building stronger communities together. Helping our community shine. Radiant Credit Union. When you're ready, let's get started.
From From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
A few more scattered showers and storms still possible. Some may produce damaging winds, localized flash flooding, and small hail. It'll be warm tonight with lows in the upper 70s, 79 Gainesville, 79 Perry, 78 The Villages. Highs tomorrow in the upper 80s and lower 90s, 92 Gainesville, 88 Live Oak, but it may still feel like we're in the triple digits. Plus, more thunderstorms are possible. Some may produce damaging winds. From the WFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Audrey Shirley.
The John Sumrall era begins this September. Catch every game right here on WRUF 98.1 FM, 850 AM. We are your home for Gator sports.
Once again, thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of the show. And don't forget, check out our clip of the day on WRUF, Facebook, and YouTube at WRUF Home of the Gators, brought to you by Fairlife Milk. Also, wanted to let you know this. 3 o'clock today on the Sports Lab. Make sure you are here for a special announcement regarding the upcoming football season. And just as Blake Alderman came on and he said an announcement was coming in about 5 minutes, well, that announcement is that Florida did get the linebacker, Trey Gators. So another win for John Sumrall and company. International Diamond Center emailed Tampa Mike regarding the bill in Congress. When a bill comes out of committee, there's a good chance of it passing, as the committee's already polled the voters and feel they have the votes to pass it. I first mentioned it to you in April, Congress's potential involvement following the executive order, but was met by pessimism. I felt optimistic. Everybody recognizes the broken college system, which generates bipartisan support. This is not a political issue. Yes, it is. It's in the Senate, in the House. Therefore, it's political. End of conversation. That became a political issue when Congress decided to go for this. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's a political issue. Simple. It's not a political issue if it's not in Congress. It's in Congress. It is a political issue. We'll see what happens with it, though, for sure. Sam, in regards to the stadium topic, in a perfect world, love to see the stadium demolished, built in the same area to keep it on campus. But, of course, with logistics, where the Gators play the next few years while the stadium's being built would be another issue altogether. Yeah. And, again, I just said that for its time of the year, right? Conversation. Because a lot of this is, just talk, because we all know where the stadium is going to go. Greg, hello.
Hey, Steve, I figured since you're in my email, thank you for that. I'd chime in. Steve, a part of me thinks it would be very cool. I've seen some people say online on YouTube, on your YouTube page, that maybe 34th Street and 2nd Avenue, that would be kind of cool if you were coming down 34th Street and you got past that Publix Plaza and just see a giant stadium standing tall there and put it where the golf course is now. But at the same time, my first memory as a Gator was my dad taking me when he was at law school here, and I just love the old stadium, and I know it's going to be a pain in the butt, but I vote to keep it where it is. But at the same time, I can kind of visualize something there on the corner of 34th and 2nd. That's plenty of room to build a new one. But that's my comment. My question, I'll take it off air, Steve, is we talked about it. All these commits, they're all verbal. In your opinion, in your world-famous glass ball, Steve, how many of them are going to keep their word and sign on the dotted line and not just commit? Because we already lost one lineman to Georgia. So just your crystal ball and how many, just a guess, a percentage of how many you think will take their commitment to actually, physically signing it on the dotted line. I'll listen off there and go Gators.
Thank you, Greg. I think, if not all, nearly all. I just don't see that some mass defection here. So I think the majority will. That's our first hour. Hour two's coming up. Again, many thanks to Quality Plumbing for sponsoring the first hour of Sports Scene today. Coming up, you're going to hear from one of our grads talking about the AUSL, and then the rest of the afternoon, it'll be us. Tomorrow, by the way, the coach, Herm Edwards, here, and then we're going to have a special guest, a team physician with the World Cup. Yeah, that'll be tomorrow. But in the meantime, hour 2 of Sports Scene coming up as you listen on WRUF.
Your home for the Tampa Bay Rays is WRUF.
Want to get your brand noticed? At Radware, we help you stand out with custom corporate apparel, branded uniforms, and promotional swag that gets attention. From trade shows to team uniforms, we've got you covered. Radware even works with major names like the University of Florida. Boost your brand visibility today. Visit radware.com. That's radware.com and let your brand shine.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before with a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it at Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Hey man, what's Hard Rock Bet giving you players?
If you win your first $5 bet, you get $150 in bonus bets.
$750? ¿Cuánto?
Oh, was that Ronaldinho? Sounds like his first bet scored.
Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook. Roll with us. New customers bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Payable in bonus bets, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio app. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. The godfather of Gator Sports Talk Radio has returned.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
It's Sports Scene with Steve Russell. Time to eat some lunch and talk some Gator sports.
Sports Scene with Steve Russell is fueled by Southeast Car Agency and brought to you in part by Gator Trim Light, Campus USA Credit Union, Doreen Wiebe Realtor, Fairlife Milk, Domino's Pizza, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, Miapa Latin Cafe, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Quality Plumbing, Sensei Asian Bistro, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Titan MRI and Imaging, the UF Bookstore, Gala Bank, BND Electric, and the Head Beer Coach 1966 Lager.
Now, here's Steve Russell, right here on WRUF.
Welcome to Hour 2 of Sports Scene, fueled by Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, and coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio. Visit GatorTrimLight.com. Find out what they can do for you to light up your business, your home, your pool deck, whatever. They can make it look really, really good. Again, our first hour is sponsored by Quality Plumbing. This hour brought to you in part by Domino's Pizza. Perfect for lunch, dinner, or those late night cravings. Fast, easy, just a click away. Order now at GatorDominoes.com. Caroline is our producer today, and we thank you for making time out of your day to join us here on the show. Just had one of my former students, Blake Alderman, on. Another one is coming on right now. She is Savanna Collins, senior reporter for the Athletes Unlimited Softball League. I'll talk a little bit about what's gone on there so far. Savannah, good to have you back. How are you?
Hey, so glad to be on.
For those who don't know about the league and what's happened to this point, sort of give us the the overview of what's happened so far.
Totally. So, if you're not familiar with the AUSL, it's in year 2. It's a pro softball league here in the United States that's partnered with Major League Baseball. So, pro softball's been chugging along for years, but it's really on the up and up right now. And the season launched on June 9th. So we're about 6-7 games for each team into the season and had opening days in a lot of our cities so far, 6 teams all across the country. And it's been really neat. We had a team last year who finished last in the standings, who is red hot right now. They've only lost 1 game. And one of our expansion franchises that actually has a lot of Gators on it is tearing it up right now. So it's been an exciting start to the season, a ton of sellouts, great softball, and all of it has been on linear TV. So if you're tuned in, you really can't miss it.
I'm glad you said that, Savannah, because in watching some of the games, the crowds have been great. And
yes,
the enthusiasm's been there. Tell folks, though, how many Gators are in the league currently?
Okay, so right now we've got 6 Gators who are on rosters and pretty much everyday starters in the league right now. So if you're kind of trying to decide who to be a fan of, Portland Cascade, it's on the other side of the country, but it's got Corby Otis, Kendra Falby, Kenley Cahalan, Gator great Alicia Ocasio is tearing it up right now. She is probably the best two-way player in the league. She's on the Carolina Blaze, so a little bit closer. You got Jocelyn Erickson, Skylar Wallace on the Bandits, and, Amanda Lorenz, she's pregnant, so she's taking a break this season. Kelsey Stewart-Hunter, she's on the Volts too, but she's out due to injury. So 8 total who are technically on rosters, 6 who are just really, really playing well right now.
Yeah, Ocasio had a big night the other night on television, had a game-winning hit. It was great to see. When the league was sort of developed, and again, Major League Baseball behind this, I had a feeling because of the popularity of college softball, it would be popular. Did you have any doubt that this league would be doing as well as it is?
I think, for me, and I always say this, that once you go to a softball game, you very much fall in love with it almost instantly. Even watching it on TV, it's a product that people just immediately love. But I have had a lot of pinch me moments this season where, I've been in pro softball for 8 years now. I've worked in leagues that no longer exist. But this is the one that I kind of just like, man, this is really catching on. Just turning around and seeing thousands of people in a crowd. Like, I'm in Texas right now. The Texas Bolts are going to have their home opener tonight, and we're expecting thousands of people who are going to be at these games. And so it's funny. I've always known softball, especially pro softball, is a great product, but it is really cool to see it catching on. And so that to me has been like, I always knew it was great, but man, to see everybody else on board has been so special.
And if you look at the rosters, There's a lot of young ladies from the SEC. I mean, I don't know if they have the most.
Gosh.
I think they do. They must have. But it's just
They definitely do.
just dominated by the SEC, isn't it?
It is. And, it's been really neat, too, to see some of those players who are making big impacts in their rookie seasons, like Carlin Pickens. She was the number 1 overall pick, obviously helped Tennessee get to the Women's College World Series. And, she has made an incredible transition to the pro game, just thinking about pitchers. And so, but the hitters, too, they come into these seasons really well prepared. A lot of them talk about just playing an SEC schedule is so challenging that, it does make some of that transition to the pros a little bit easier.
For those who are not familiar with the league, how many games do you play regular season? How do the playoffs then work?
Sure. So each team is going to play at about a 25-game regular season. So it is a sprint in the months of June and July, but you haven't missed it yet. You can start tuning in now and get to watch this full season. And then for the playoffs, we have an automatic bid, and then we have the 2 and 3 seed are going to play a short playoff to get through that play-in game and earn the second bid to the playoff. And speaking of SEC, it's going to be in College Station at Texas A&M.
Wow.
The final week of July. Yeah, so we're hoping to really pack out in that venue. And so it's going to be competitive. I think there's going to be a tight race for those final 2 spots because the league right now just has a ton of equity between the teams. The competition is so great night after night.
Savanna, let me ask this because I don't know what the plans of the league are, but obviously – you get to see a lot of games linear, as you said. Crowds have been really good. Is there a plan for expansion? Do they want to wait to see, what happens in the short term here? Anything you can sort of tell us along those lines?
Yeah, definitely. So the commissioner, Kim Ang, you might know that name. She was the first female GM of any major sports league in the United States. She used to be with the Marlins. Now she's leading our program. And, she's talked about how there's so much interest right now for people to buy into the league. The Milwaukee Brewers just bought in. Ryan Sanders' group, you might know that through Nolan Ryan and his son, they just bought in. And so they're really trying to test, where can these teams be successful? She just shared, obviously, she'd love a team in California. Softball's such a hotbed there. Atlanta, maybe somewhere in the South, is a big draw, too. But right now, their big push has just been to get us operationally very stable. But they know that there's a high demand. There's people who are wanting to buy in, people who want to come in as owners. And so I think that the growth is going to be pretty rapid. We went from 4 to 6 this past year. I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 to 3 years we're adding new teams soon. But there's a lot of people who want a piece of the softball pie, which I get it. It's so fun.
Savanna Collins joining us here, senior reporter for the AUSL. Let me also ask this. At the college level, we have seen a ton of home runs. Is it the same in the AUSL?
Yeah, so we have seen some major home runs hit this season. Megan Grant from UCLA just set our record last week. She hit a 313-foot moonshot at Duke. But I will say pitching has really taken a turn to be more dominant this season. We've had many pitchers, even some rookies, who are coming in and throwing complete games, and we know that can sometimes be rare at the college level to see pitchers be able to withstand. So we're kind of teetering between it being a little bit more even right now, which is interesting because the college game was so dominated by home runs this past year.
I'll leave you with this, the pitching. Back when I started calling softball, when Florida, resurrected it, it was basically one big arm that threw a whole lot. And now at the college level, we see 5, 6 pitchers on a roster. What's it like in your league?
Yep. So each team carries about that same number, about 5 or 6 pitchers. Kind of the philosophy that I'm seeing a lot of coaches take right now is, trying to not let a lineup see an arm too many times because the hitters, especially this level, are just so good. But interestingly enough, we've had some pitchers throw complete games. Sam Landry in year 2 as a pro who went to OU, she threw a complete game. Kinsey Brown, a rookie, threw a complete game this past week. So, different coaches are doing things differently. Some pitch by committee and some are letting their aces go a long time. But it's so hard to do in this league against the level of hitting.
As always, I want to let people know where they can see your work.
Yeah, well, tonight we are going to be on ESPN. We have 2 games back-to-back. We'll take that slot. You can tune into my game. It's going to be the Texas Volts versus the reigning champs, the Utah Talons. That'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern. But we'll be on ESPN all this afternoon, and we're kicking off a home opener in Texas, so we're hoping for some big crowds.
You know, I just love the enthusiasm in your voice. I know you're having a blast. I know you are.
I absolutely am.
I know you are, and I'm just so happy for you. You're doing what you like to do. Thanks for coming on, and continue. Good work, girl. Appreciate you.
Always, and go Gators.
Okay, Savanna, thank you. Savanna Collins, one of our grads, I'm telling you, she's loving that league. And it's good. If you've not watched, if you like college softball, you will like softball here as well. Okay, now, the rest of the day, I hope, it'll be us. The Parade of Champions in New York is still going on. They had to endure like 7,000 speakers, but that's how it is when you have a gathering like that. So if you want to be on the program, you know how to do it. If you have any Facebook Live questions, Caroline gets them to me courtesy of Ruse-Ogre State Farm. YouTube questions, courtesy of Campus USA Credit Union, and our text line, 352-325-3777, courtesy of B&D Electric. You can schedule with them at bndelectric.com. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and then open phone lines, open the emails, all of that. Sports Scene continues on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. The Tampa Bay Rays got swept in Dodger Stadium. Their final game in the series ended with the Rays losing 5-4.
Go on a 3-2 to Mullins. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Vesia wins the battle. The Dodgers sweep the series. The Rays go 1-5 in California with 4 of the losses by 1 run.
Tampa Bay will attempt to get back to winning form, starting with a home series versus the Nationals. WRUF will host live coverage for tomorrow's game at 6:30. The Men's Golf U.S. Open began today. 3 Gators will compete. Alejandro Tosti, Jackson Ormond, and Billy Horschel are among the 156 athletes competing in this weekend's competition. For more on Gator Golf, read about them on WRUF.com.
Hey folks, it's Steve Russell for my friends at Southeast Car Agency in Gainesville, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue. They've been in business for over 45 years. That in itself says a whole lot. Take a look around you when you drive. Take a look at the car in front of you, alongside of you. There's a really good chance it'll have a Southeast Car Agency tag, just like my vehicle does, and many vehicles before that have as well. When you go see them in person, make sure and tell them Sports Scene sent you to the good people at Southeast Car Agency, 310 Northeast 39th Avenue, Gainesville.
Everyone knows Gator Trim Light is the go-to for patented permanent holiday lighting. But did you know they do so much more? From pool enclosures and businesses to decks and landscape lighting, they've got you covered. Full color systems, fully programmable, right from your smartphone. Invisible by day, stunning by night. Show off your orange and blue home or landscape with GatorTrimLight.com. That's GatorTrimLight.com. GatorTrimLight.com.
Hi, I'm Kerry Meldon. At Meldon Law, we prepare every case as if it's going to trial. And part of that preparation involves real people from our community giving honest feedback. Join one of our jury research focus groups. You'll review real case scenarios, share your perspective, and enjoy dinner and dessert on us. We'll thank you and provide you $125 for your time. It's engaging, meaningful, and your voice truly matters. Visit meldonlaw.com to sign up today.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for Core Power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. Protein to build muscle. Electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with Core Power.
If there's anybody that knows what teamwork and great leadership is all about, it's the head ball coach himself, Steve Spurrier. Sure, it applies to football and the team at Campus USA Credit Union.
Yeah, I think we got excellent leadership with Jerry Benton and his staff there, and certainly I'm proud to team up with those guys as we go from year to year.
Campus USA Credit Union can help with all your financial decisions. Join the team. Learn more at campuscu.com. Member NCUA.
At International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange, you'll find transparent pricing, same-day evaluations, expert craftsmanship, and a team committed to treating every customer with honesty and respect. And you never know who you'll see shopping there. Music stars, sports stars, and savvy collectors all know where to go when they're searching for exceptional value and luxury timepieces. Whether you're buying, selling, trading, or restoring a treasured piece, visit International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange on West University Avenue in Gainesville.
Hey, it's Kevin Winter. Join me in the Sports Lab today at 2 on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and anywhere in the world on the WRUF mobile app. We are your home for Gator Sports.
Domino's Pizza sponsoring our second hour today. We appreciate them and all of our sponsors as well. And, of course, all of our guests come to you courtesy of Meldon Law, serving Gator Nation since 1971. Meldon Law won't back down. Titan MRI Imaging phone line. Ed is there. Hi, Ed.
Hey, Steve. When you were talking to Blake, I was starting to have some flashbacks almost to the recruiting way back when, which I'm sure you remember. Did you ever have one of those 800 numbers? I know Larry did.
No, but what I did do, and when I tell people this, I feel like I'm in the Stone Age. You know, before computers, before all of that, I mean, I would call all these kids and, you know, try to talk to them and see where they were going. And, I mean, that's how you had to do it back then. But, no, I mean, I did what I needed to do in recruiting, but I was never, like, just, you know, balls to the wall into it. Never was.
Yeah, and I remember that because I don't know what, especially in the fall, but before we had the early signing period, I mean, half of your calls would be about recruiting.
Oh, sure.
It was crazy.
Yeah. And I'm kind of glad it's not now.
I bet you are.
Because, I mean, look, there's no, unless you do what Blake does or any of these other guys that, you know, do it, that's what they do. And they make the calls and, you know, whatever. The best recruiting story I have, I made a call, and a wide receiver was from Georgia, was going to go to Georgia. And he changed his mind, and he came on the show and said, I'm going to Georgia. You know, I really liked Florida, but I'm going to Georgia. Well, somebody who was really into recruiting called me and said, he's coming to Florida. And sure enough, he did. And I called his coach. And he made the kid come on here and recant what he said. So that was that. I don't know why that sticks out to me, but I credited the coach because he called him out and probably needed to.
Yeah, you certainly wouldn't hear about that going on right now.
No.
When you asked about the effect of the portal, back in the day, we used to call those people, if you wanted 3 tight ends or 2, and you had exhausted all your targets, we used to call them reaches or projects, you know, that you decided to take because you didn't get full. And I think the portal has definitely pretty much taken care of that.
Yeah. I mean, look, there could still be a couple of those, right, where – and here's the thing. Nobody knows how it's going to work out if you come from a mid-major. How is that going to translate to when you get here? Let's take baseball. Did it work out for Sam Miller? Not particularly. But it worked out, you know, for other people that transferred from those places. So it's when you do that, it's a bit of a crapshoot, but you do your homework and you hope you're right.
Absolutely. Switch over to the AUSL. I'm looking here at the teams. I can certainly see a team in Texas and one in Oklahoma City because they're hotbeds. But I guess it kind of depends on, based on what the guest was saying, which major league team kind of buy in.
Yes.
Because I'm not sure why Utah would have a team.
Yeah, but I don't. It doesn't preclude, as I understand it. And again, my understanding. It doesn't preclude anybody else from buying in.
Yeah, it sounds like that's what they need, and obviously 6 is a very manageable number. And I was trying to think. I mean, Florida is a softball hotbed, but we aren't big enough, geographically or population-wise, to support a team. Where else in the Southeast would it go? Maybe Georgia or Atlanta, but or maybe Birmingham or something. I'm trying to think places you think that the league could show up in the next wave of expansions or so.
Yeah, I think Atlanta would come to mind. Birmingham would come to mind. But again, Birmingham's not a major league city, so I don't know where that would end up going. But I think the league has shown that you don't have to be a major league city to get in with the league.
Yeah, and I think they're doing it the right way. The football teams, the XFLs and whatever, I think they expanded too quickly. Doing this, see how these markets work, get some buy-in and people, and then expand because of the interest. I think this league's got a good shot.
I think it has a very good shot, and I agree with you. I think they're doing it the right way.
Catch you later, Steve.
Thank you, Ed. Hey, D, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Steve? I thought you'd be at the parade today.
I just said a little earlier, I was going to go, but, it's still going on. That's another reason why, because it's like long. But, hey, you win a championship once. You can do it as long as you want.
Yeah. As far as the stadium goes, Steve, I don't want them to build a new stadium, man. I just, every time I go up there, I park right across from University right across from the stadium. It's like a 5-minute walk, so I got my spot. So I just think it's something special about everyone congregating to one spot on campus. So I know they're not going to move it now, so I wouldn't want to have it, move to another area.
Maybe in the course of the summer here, when it just dies sports-wise around here. It might be something of a conversation in that I could if I were Florida and I was looking at expanding monetarily, well, could you find an area that isn't that's a little outside Gainesville, a lot of acreage, where you could support shops and apartments and all of that, like big league teams are doing, and make money that way. But then you would also lose your iconic stadium, and that I believe a majority of fans would want to keep the stadium. I really do.
Right. And Colton, Steve, I caught the last 2 segments of with Coach Reese yesterday, man. I know she hasn't coached a game yet or won a game, but, man, her energy, she's a New Yorker just like you. Her energy is just infectious. I remember her when she played with Dawn Staley at Virginia. I like the way she laid out her plan, the way she plays offense, how they rebound, how they box out. She's real meticulous and detailed in what she wants to get accomplished, and I think she has the competitive spirit to go against some of these top coaches in the SEC. So, I could have listened to her for 2 hours, man. She was great yesterday, man. I hope you have her on again.
Well, I can tell you this. I had her on when she first got hired, and that was pretty much just But having her here for 3 segments yesterday and having her articulate her vision, some of the things she believes in, and we were talking off air, she grew up like 15 minutes from me. So we're very familiar with where we come from, right. And that helped, obviously. But, look, you're right. Hadn't coached a game, we'll see. But just in terms of what she is laying out, in terms of what she's doing with her team, I love what I heard. Love it.
Yep. Be good, Steve.
Appreciate you, D. Thank you. Bob, let's get a YouTube question here. Again, brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. When they complete the UF golf course, what will happen with the current course? Would a stadium go there? Good question. I don't know what the plan would be there. I mean, if you, I don't know what other stadium you would build here, but that's a good question, Bob. I don't know. International Diamond Center email, Dean asked this, and Dean, I wasn't going to read it, but I will, and I'll answer your question. He says, give us the behind-the-scene details. How did Sully and Strickland lure the pitching coach away from Oregon State? Well, how do you get any coach from any place, Dean? Money. And I'm sure that, I mean, I don't know him, but I don't think you would leave a place you've been for a while and take less money. So I'm sure that was part of it. You're also going to the best league in college baseball. That helps. How much are they paying him? No idea. Is there a history? No. Is there a story behind the story? No. And he said, Rich instantly makes our program and our players better, a quote from Sully. Pretty sharp spear he poked Kopp with. I don't know that he was doing it that way, Dean, but I think he looks at, and here's the thing, his track record at Oregon State is really good. I mean, you look at what they did this year pitching-wise, it was really good. But there's no guarantee. I mean, has a coach ever hired a coach thinking, oh, he's going to suck? No. You think the coach you hire is going to do great. I mean, his credentials, Dean, speak for themselves. Will it translate? We will find out. And, I can tell you this from, traveling with the team and all of that. I never sensed a disconnect with David Kopp and Kevin O'Sullivan. Maybe I just didn't see it. I don't know. I wasn't looking for it. But obviously, there were changes that the head baseball coach wanted to make, and he did. And we'll see now how they do. Final half hour of the show coming up. Still time to hear from you. Coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
This is former Gator quarterback Shane Matthews, and you're listening to the home of Gator Sports, WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, and 103.7 HD2.
Summer is here. This summer, don't let pain or lingering injuries hold you back. Good news. You don't have to deal with long waits or high costs at Titan MRI and Imaging. At Titan MRI and Imaging, you're not just another patient. You're treated with care in a comfortable, personal setting. With 2 locations in Gainesville and 1 in Lake City, being pain-free is a short drive away. And they accept insurance. So don't sit out this summer. Get the scan you need and get back to enjoying it. Visit TitanMRI.com to learn more.
Summer's back, and so is IDC's most popular offer ever. 0% financing for 5 years. Now through June 30th, you can make any purchase at International Diamond Center and spread your payments out to 2031 without paying a dime in interest. Engagement rings, wedding bands, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, our largest selection ever of certified hand-picked diamonds and exclusive designer fashion jewelry. International Diamond Center at Celebration Point. Excludes Rolex. Details and more at shopidc.com on approved credit.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
By now, you've heard about the Florida Legends Experience in Gila, featuring Gator Heisman greats Tim Tebow, Danny Werfel, and Steve Spurrier all in one place at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. Imagine catching a pass or taking a handoff from a Heisman winner, all while supporting Isaiah 117 to help provide safe, loving homes for children in need. Then enjoy an unforgettable evening at the Gala, filled with great food and lasting memories. Don't miss this historic event. Find out how you and your business can get involved at FLLegends.com. That's FLLegends.com.
Summer in Gainesville means sunshine, barbecues, and storm season right around the corner. Don't wait until disaster strikes to think about your roof. Whether it's your home or your business, Atlantic Roofing has you covered. From inspections to full replacements, their expert team handles both residential and commercial roofing, built to stand up to Florida's toughest weather. Get ahead of the storm. Protect what matters most. Visit AtlanticRoofingFL.com today for your free estimate. Atlantic Roofing. Roofing you can trust, rain or shine.
Soccer Sticker Fever is here at Miapa. Every Wednesday from 4 to 9 p.m., bring the family for Soccer Sticker Trading Night. Trade the stickers you're missing, pick up albums and sticker packs, and connect with fellow collectors. And kids ages 3 to 10 eat free with a paid adult entree. While the kids enjoy dinner, treat yourself to the best Cuban food north of Miami and delicious Cuban coffee at any of our 6 convenient locations. Miapa Soccer Sticker Wednesdays. Every Wednesday, 4 to 9 p.m.
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
This is Jeff Cardozo. Today at 4, tune in for the tailgate right here on WRUF, 98.1 FM, 850 AM, your home for Gator Sports.
And don't forget today at 3, tune into the Sports Lab for a special announcement regarding the upcoming football season. That'll be at 3 o'clock today. U.S. Open, Shinnecock, going on today. 2 golfers lead at 2 under, and the wind is howling there. McIlroy is at 1 under, along with Benjamin James. Even players like Keegan Bradley, Sam Burns, Ricky Fowler. Nobody is done yet. Let's see here. At 1 over, Brooks Koepka, and I'm just giving you some of the bigger names here. Patrick Reed is 1 over. Tommy Fleetwood is 2 over. Scotty Scheffler is 3 over after 9. So he's not gotten off to a great start. Adam Scott is 3 over. Let's see here. J.J. Spawn is 3 over. Looking down the list here. And then a lot of these guys are now 5 and 6 over par. The entire field has not gone out yet. Several are still to go out later on today. But those are the leaders as of this point. Jason Day, Colin Morikawa, Victor Hovland, Bryson DeChambeau, Russell Henley, Dustin Johnson, Xander Schauffele, Justin Thomas, Matsuyama, all have not gone out yet. Justin Rose, Jordan Spieth, John Rahm, Patrick Cantlay, Billy Horschel, the Gator, scheduled to go off at 4:09 today. So, again, a lot of the more big names have still not gone, but that's where the leaderboard is now at the U.S. Open as they begin play today. All right, our last, 15 minutes or so? Let's get some calls, or else it's going to be just me talking, and I do not want to do that. 392-8255. And again, you can email the International Diamond Center email, srussell@wruf.com. Tomorrow on the show, the coach, Herm Edwards. I want him, and I specifically asked that he come on, to talk about what coaches learn in OTAs. Like what do you? I mean, players are running around in shorts. What do you get out of that? And then we'll talk, some other things as well. And then we're going to get a team doctor, team physician, with the World Cup will come on tomorrow. So looking forward to that and see what he can tell you, some of the things that he does. And that'll be educational for me as well. Didn't know if you saw this. So far, Gator softball, I believe the portal closes on the 22nd, which is Monday. Florida's not had a single player go in the portal. And they just signed a transfer catcher from Duke, a grad transfer, Carrie Rodriguez. So she's a grad student. She's from West Palm. And she's made 118 starts while at Duke, 277 batting average over her collegiate career, 21 home runs. So again, the Gators get some depth at that position. Okay, I got another email. I got to find it. Oh, here we go. Robert, he says, how big a year is it next year for Sully in terms of his job? Look, I don't know what I need to do here. Look, if Florida just suddenly collapsed, if they, didn't make the SEC tournament or something, stupid like that, a collapse, would that, could that affect something? You can have the conversation. But outside of that, now, let's take his name out of it. If you're coaching at Florida or Texas or LSU, LSU did not make the NCAA tournament after winning everything. They went from the penthouse to the outhouse. So is next year, if they don't make the tournament again next year, could there be a change in Baton Rouge? But again, you would think just 2 years before that, they won it all. And I don't know nowadays how much cachet you get from doing that. It's what have you done for me lately? And I'm not saying there's not that there's something to that, but man, it's getting tougher because the expectation level just rises. By the way, I meant to tell you this. Remember Gavin Dickey? Played here, played football here, played baseball here. He's the assistant GM of the Houston Astros. And I've tried to get a hold of him and unsuccessfully. I'd love to get him on here to talk about how he got into that. But so far, no luck. But I am trying. International Diamond Center email, Justin. He says, how difficult is it for you during a slow time like this to do a show? Nobody's ever asked me that in 28 years. It's difficult because I know my audience. Now, tomorrow, I was going to do this at the last break, but I'll do it now. Prepare yourself. Tomorrow, around 2 guests, I want you to tell me the top 5 Gator coaches of all time. Think about it. Let that marinate of all time. I don't mean one sport. I mean, I want all the top 5 in any sport. I have 4 that I would include, and I'm debating the 5th. But that's what I want from you tomorrow. But that's what you have to do this time of the year, because most people don't care about the World Cup to talk about it, or MLB to talk about it, or whatever. So you have to sort of resort a little bit to that. But again, we will do what we can. And we'll do it that way. But in the meantime, we'll get Daryl real quick here. Daryl, hello.
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Good.
I just want to tell you, I appreciate the way you conduct your things, when you interviews and when you have, say, a point of view. It's like with coaching. I personally think a lot of, like, say, with coaches being fired or having issues, some of these Johnny-come-lately shows where they pump narratives, and they have that audience that I listen to a lot because I drive for a living. So it's kind of, some of it's kind of funny. But the way you go about doing it, even though you have a tie, a connection, say with Coach O'Sullivan, because you call baseball games, but you're not going to sit there and just like pump this out that he should be fired or whatever. But there's some of these things where it just, to me, it just gets to be a much, because there's one, the guy, he kind of is like the Iron Mike guy. He aggravates me when I see things. Mike is never happy about it. You and Mike go way back and been going back and forth a long time. And I've been listening for a long time. Even with Larry, he had problems with Larry. But this one show, he didn't have a problem with the Gators not shaking hands doing softball. As soon as Texas Tech did it, they're classless. So what's the difference? It's just we pumping these things, and we get these shows, and then a lot of these shows, they start pumping at these coaches and say, well, Coach O'Sullivan, he needs to be fired. No, he just had a year, got some things he's got to tighten up. He's been in the tournament. He's just got some longevity. But we get these shows that these Johnny-come-latelys, and they pump this stuff, and then what we say is the fans. I think it's the person with the shows, and he's leading that. He or she is leading. Most of the guys are leading that narrative, and then people maybe jump on and not really understanding. They jump on to what he or she is pumping out.
Well, I'll say this, Daryl. I've been accused of this, and I think if you want to, it's probably true. I do have some affinity for coaching. I've done a little bit of it, not to the level of college or pro, but it's not easy. Right. And I'm not one that just says fire somebody because you have one bad year. Exactly. But look, that's what makes the world go around, right? We all have different expectations about what a program should do, and unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, the more success you have, the more that people just think it should be that way every single year. And, history tells us that's not going to be the way it is.
Right. And a lot of it, to me, is because most of these top-end sports, they're money-driven now. That's just where we're at now. So, we pumped it because we didn't get a kid. So these shows pump out, well, Florida's not doing enough to get them. But what are you doing to help funnel money into the program so they can get some of these kids? You know what I'm saying? Yes. They complain and put this out there that Florida ain't spending. They got low budget or whatever school it is. Mostly I hear the Florida stuff. But then are you one yourself that's pumping this narrative, pumping money into the program to help the program to get some of these athletes that you're saying we're not getting? So I just listen. It's kind of funny to me just hearing some of this stuff. Something to talk about, Steve. But it is kind of funny to me. Appreciate you, my brother.
Yep, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your call. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap up Sports Scene for this Thursday. As you listen, coming to you live from the Gator Trim Light Studio, fueled by Southeast Car Agency on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Jaden Haynes. Coach John Summerall's values are clear for Florida football. Strength and conditioning coach Rusty Witt shared on Sports Scene with Steve Russell yesterday.
Coach Summerall's core values are attitude, toughness, discipline, and love. And attitude, he always talks about the only disability in life is a bad attitude.
The Gators continue training leading up to Game 1, September 5th. 3 Gator golfers will be among the 156 competitors in the Men's Golf U.S. Open. Alejandro Tosti, Jackson Ormond, and Billy Horschel. The Rays host the Nationals in a Tropicana Field tripleheader beginning tomorrow. Tampa Bay hopes to re-enter the win column after a last series where they were swept in Dodger Stadium. 4 of the last 6 Rays games have been lost by 1 point. For full coverage of tomorrow's game, tune into WRUF at 6:30.
Sometimes it can be hard to tell the difference between a minor sprain and a significant issue. The team at UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine provide expert orthopedic care with locations in Gainesville and Ocala for everything from walk-in treatments to specialized surgeries and complex cases. Choose the providers who care for Team USA. Visit ufhealth.org/orthoexperts to learn more. Proud provider for the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Medical Network.
Are you ready to raise your game when it comes to your Gators gear? Head over to Alma Mater in Gainesville. You'll find just what you need to rep your team in style. From one-of-a-kind Gator tees and hats to NIL gear, they've got the perfect Gator swag for every fan in all kinds of weather. Whether it's game day or any day, you'll be winning with officially licensed apparel found nowhere else. Locally owned, locally produced. Alma Mater, in-store at the corner of 34th and University or online at almamaterdesign.com.
Domino's carryout deal means you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each when you order online or by phone. Just in case there's any confusion, we've even set up a helpful website to confirm if today is a day you can carry out one-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's carryout deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carryout only. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Size availability varies by crust type. Excludes XL and specialty. Your local store may charge extra for some toppings and sauces.
It's the Battle of the Trucks at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC. The Chevy Silverado 1500 strikes first with 0% financing for 60 months. The 26 GMC Sierra strikes back with 0% financing for 60 months plus no monthly payments for 130 days. Come see us today at Davis Gainesville Chevrolet GMC and GainesvilleChevyGMC.com. 36-month leases, $69.99 due at signing plus tax, tag, title, and doc. $16.66 per thousand financed at 0 APR for 60 months. Subject to lender approval. Expires month end. Together, let's drive.
This summer, bring every game home. Baseball, soccer, golf, like never before with a stunning new home theater system from Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, surveillance, and smart home solutions. Delivering the best products, the best service, and the best price. Don't just watch the game, live it at Electronics World. Gainesville's preferred choice for home theater, home surveillance, and smart home installation and service. Visit electronicsworldfl.com for more. That's electronicsworldfl.com.
In a world of big banks, there's only one truly local choice in Gainesville, Gala Bank. Locally owned and operated, Gala Bank is built by people who live here, work here, and care about this community. With over 350 years of combined banking experience, you'll always get trusted guidance and personal service you can count on. And with convenient 7 to 7 hours, Monday through Saturday, banking works around your schedule, not the other way around. Local bank, local people. Gala Bank. Member FDIC.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy Chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
From the UF Weather Center, here is your WRUF weather update.
A few more scattered showers and storms still possible. Some may produce damaging winds, localized flash flooding, and small hail. It'll be warm tonight with lows in the upper 70s, 79 Gainesville, 79 Perry, 78 The Villages. Highs tomorrow in the upper 80s and lower 90s, 92 Gainesville, 88 Live Oak, but it may still feel like we're in the triple digits. Plus, more thunderstorms are possible. Some may produce damaging winds. From the WFT Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Audrey Shirley.
The Tailgate with Jeff Cardozo and Zach Almoverdi. Weekdays at 4, right here on WRUF.
After we are done here, of course, the Sports Lab's coming up, but a special announcement coming up during the Sports Lab today at 3 o'clock regarding the upcoming football season. Do not miss that. One last look at the U.S. Open in progress at Shinnecock Hills in Southampton, New York. Sam Stevens now has the lead, 2 under par, Rory McIlroy is among 3 that are at 1 under. Keegan Bradley, Sam Burns are among a bunch of guys that are even par. Brooks Koepka, Ricky Fowler, Patrick Reed, all are at 1 over par. Adam Scott is 2 over par. Fleetwood is 2 over par. Scheffler is still 3 over par, along with Kurt Katayama. So that is where things sit. And, of course, a lot of golfers, including Florida's Billy Horschel, are not on the course yet. He's going to tee off today at about 4 o'clock. And obviously we wish him good luck to see how he will do in the U.S. Open. Don't forget, tomorrow, I want you to think about this a lot because we're in that time of the year now, okay? I've never done this in all the years of doing Sports Scene. I've done 5 best basketball players, 5 best football players. I've never done the 5 best coaches in Gator history, okay? That's tomorrow. Be thinking about it today and get your thoughts tomorrow, okay? Again, 5 greatest coaches in Gator history. Doesn't matter what the sport is. It can be 2 in the same sport, if that's how you think. But that's going to take place tomorrow around our guest, the coach, Herm Edwards, here tomorrow, talking what's going on around the National Football League and what you get out of OTAs, from a coach's perspective, all of that. And then going to have a team physician that's involved in the World Cup. That'll be fun for me, knowledgeable for me to get more information about that because I'm anxious to see exactly what that role is. But for now, that's going to do it for today's edition of Sports Scene. Thanks to Caroline for producing, and we will do this tomorrow for a Friday edition of the program as we are now past the halfway point in June. Before you know it, we're going to be talking football here. The summer does drag on a little bit, but hey, we're already halfway in the month of June. U.S. plays tomorrow in the World Cup too, so we'll see what happens there as well. I'm Steve Russell. You're listening to WRUF. See you tomorrow. So long, everybody.
The John Sumrall era begins this September, right here on WRUF.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from